Kawah Tinggi Kuantan menangguhkan untuk keputusan tarikh perbicaraan Ketua Ajaran Sesat Tuhan Harun.
Pahang Jai Ahmad Rafli Abdul Malik pada November tahun lalu.
According to Jakim, deviant teaching means any teaching or practice brought by Muslim or non-Muslims who claim the teaching to be Islamic teaching. However, it was contradict to the Quran and Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to the Inspector General Tan Sri Razaruddin, throughout 2022 to 2023, 51 police reports were recorded regarding the deviant teaching and 23 arrested have been made. This shows that in Malaysia, the deviant teaching still active and growth. But for our documentaries, we will be focusing more on the deviant teaching of Tuhan Harun. Without further ado, let's dive deep. This is 777. Here we have someone who asked a question about deviant teaching. Assalamualaikum, Sister Patricia.
Waalaikumsalam.
What do you know about deviant teaching?
What I know about deviant teaching is a belief in religion, but it is diverged from its official religion. For example, the teaching of Ayatul.
So you say that you know about Ayatul, but did you know about the deviant teaching of Tuhan Harun?
I never heard of him before.
Alright, thank you for your time. Hi, what is your name?
My name is Amalia.
Oh, what course are you?
I am from Bas today.
I see. Can I ask a few questions?
Sure.
First question, what do you know about deviant teaching, specifically the Tuhan Harun?
In my opinion, Tuhan Harun promoted deviant teaching that deviate from traditional Islamic belief, which are Quran and Sunnah, by claiming himself as a god, which contradicts with Islamic monotheism.
See. Second question, if one of your family members is involved in deviant teaching, what are you gonna do?
In my opinion, I would like first to take action with having a deeper conversation with them to understand better their views and their problems. Also, I would like to seek for professional help and supportive environment for them.
I see. Alright. That's it. Thank you for your time for answering my question.
Welcome back to 777, and today we start our deviant teaching documentary of Tuhan Harun with the history of Tuhan Harun. Born in Raub, Pahang, Harun bin Sa'ad is the creator of the Tuhan Harun belief, born on 8 September 1996. He was also called Ustad Harun in his area because he was known as an alternative traditional practitioner and even had his own treatment center for his patients, namely Pusat Daratan Islam Al-Rada. He was rumored to have a unique power to heal others and heal paralyzed people at his house. The teaching of descendants began in 2013 in Kuantan, Pahang, has created its own study system similar to the syllabus at the university, as well as creating several organizations with the purpose of collecting funds. It is one of the modus operandi of the heretical teachings of Tuhan Harun in an effort to spread these teachings to the public. It is reported that he has 312 devoted followers who believe in him. His followers came from a variety of backgrounds, whether young or old, employed or unemployed, highly educated or not. They were all accepted and became followers and supportive of his teachings, particularly through his business program, briefings, and lectures. The study system is known as Overhead God's Universal University. To its more than 300 followers, Harun divided his followers into 3 levels of study, which are new intake, introduced to new followers, the doctorate level, and the highest level, called Doctor Word of God. which is said to be equivalent to a PhD. About 40 of his followers would attend his session at Kampung Pandan and Bukit Ubi Kuantan day or night in order to continue his teaching and attract people to follow him. Harun also composed songs about his teaching, most of which related to the spirituality and goodness. Shockingly, any well-known Malaysia performers sang the majority of his tracks. Another admission made by Harun was that he produced over 300 songs in his own studio. Among their daily rituals in playing song or jamming songs with rock beats before Maghrib time and singing songs whose lyric worship the leader of the group known as Tuhan Harun. When azan resounded, the followers of Tuhan Harun become more and more aggressive, playing loud music while jumping up and down, singing and dancing.
Welcome back to 777. Every single thing has its own characteristic. So what are the characteristics of Tuhan Harun's teaching? The first characteristic of Tuhan Harun's teaching is encouragement of God under divinity. Harun's teaching, which is considered heretical, is based on the belief in the incarnation of God in Harun bin Ma'sa'ad. Harun has acknowledged himself as God in various published documents such as Cerita Tuhan 2013, Kalam Tuhan and Fakta Fizik. According to the example provided in the document titled Fakta Fizik, Harun asserted that God made himself a witness and assessor, confirming the truthfulness of everything attributed to the God. Harun also said that God is perfect and created something perfect so that he can see and judge himself as perfect. In the book titled God Important, Harun discussed the concept of God becoming God based on three aspects: essence, God, supreme. He argues that the God's essence is not enough to make him God, as he must possess both essence and supremeness. Harun also states that the form of God is unique and unparalleled as there is only one. Another book, Synopsis God, contains a chapter called God, a Secret, which argues that humans cannot truly know God due to their faults and sins. Harun believed that those who are fortunate are the followers chosen by God through a program arranged by Harun.
Said Imam Mahdi is what people call Tuhan Harun is. And now we are going to talk about another characteristic of Tuhan Harun, which is prophethood. Prophethood. This is because Harun bin Ma'sa'ad declared himself as the Imam Mahdi. It is confirmed by research that looked at some of the seized documents and discovered Harun used a lot of bizarre terminology and titles that made no sense. The Imam Mahdi, pemimpin akhir zaman, Ayahanda Beta, Sultan Malala, and Tuhan Harun are a few of them. Tentara Mahdi, Tentara Akhir Zaman Timur, Jemaah Hamba Tuhan, Tentara Besi, dan Rakyat Malala were the names given to his followers. His loyal followers were terrified of the approaching day of resurrection after he was accused of being an Imam Mahdi. They considered Harun to be the Imam Mahdi, therefore they submitted to him. Harun claimed that he and his followers have attained the status of God. The most important is that Harun states that they were born to become gods and live in this world to protect it from any harm caused by humans. Harun also said that Prophet Adam brings knowledge, Prophet Muhammad brings Sharia, while he brings God to human, which is completely false. From Islamic perspective, they refute Harun's claim as Imam Mahdi as it can be substantiated by authentic hadith. The most accurate and authentic opinion is the opinion narrated by Abu Nu'aym from Muhammad from Ali bin Abi Talib radhiyallahu anhu that Al-Mahdi was born in Medina. from Abdullah bin Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhu, he said, the Prophet ﷺ said, the world will not pass until the Arabs will be dominated by a man from among the members of my temple, whose name is equivalent to mine, narrated by Al-Tirmidhi. This proved that Harun bin Mas'ud was obviously not the Imam Mahdi that the followers had been terrified of. In conclusion, we, as a Muslim, have to make sure that what we follow is the straight path and make sure they are according to the Al-Quran and As-Sunnah.
So, here another characteristic of Tuhan Harun deviant teaching, which is unseen matters. This is because he had made a lot of bizarre and illogical claims. His claim is contained in the human title podcast Sifik, which is a book that he wrote by himself. Harun claims Sungai Pelak is a place where gods encounter with a man. He also claimed that Sungai Pelak is the place where God descends, if Mecca is the place of revelation, and only his followers with God close to God and made the God. This shows that he confessing and believed that one communicate directly with Allah, which this is contradict with Islam. The second claim is Harun state himself to receive an education of godliness, officially, which is by being lifted to the sky by God on his 32 years of age. Harun stated that he visited the Lauh Mahfuz to witness the substance of God and the whole Holy Spirit, claimed that his chest was split open for the witnessing of Rasulullah SAW, which is the light of Nurullah, and received education every day until he reached the age of 44 years old. Harun has stated that he received an education of godliness, which is by being lifted to the sky by God when he is 30 years of age. He also stated that he has visited the Lauh Mahfuz to witness the God and the Spirit. This is contrary to the teaching of Islam by perceiving that human mind is a revelation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the akal to accept the revelation but not as a revelation. This is because our human mind has limitations and our human perspective is deficient. We need to realize that we are dealing here with a matter of faith. In other words, a matter which transcends the limitations of human reasons. Thus, the claim made by Harun was absolutely contradictory. The Quran only mentioned Lauh Mahfuz only once in a verse. In Islam, Lauh Mahfuz refers to a spiritual tablet where all that has occurred and will occur is recorded. Lauh Mahfuz is preserved, clean, and hidden, and only angels can access. This shows that humans do not have any power and speciality to visit the Lauh Mahfuz. I think that he experienced the same revelation as the Prophet Muhammad SAW, but his chest was split open for the witnessing of Rasulullah, which is the light of Allah, and he received education every day until he reached 34 years old. So here the claim that he makes is not openly said that he is a prophet, but it is similar to where he claims himself to the prophet. This shows that his deviant teaching is consonant with ethics and criteria of the prophets. Hence, it is contrary to the core of Islam that Prophet Muhammad is the final prophet and nobody can do the leadership as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The leadership of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was predetermined by revelation and divine command. Did you surprise? Particularly through their alignment with pluralism and the perception that human mind itself constitutes a form of revelation. In this view, revelation is divided into two categories. This book is the Quran, which is also known as the written revelation, while the other revelation is the human understanding, which can also be referred to as the unwritten revelation. Advocates of this view asserts that intellects the true path they understand the Quran and thus apply its guidelines in the process of achieving the modern objectives. This viewpoint is notably exposed in Harun's book, God Imported, where he discusses the concept of God becoming God through three aspects, which is essence, God, and discipline. This interpretation is in the most glaring violation of the Quran, since it denies the fundamental tenet of Islam, that is Allah, the Almighty God who created the world. Harun introduces arguments that put the authorship and the truth of the Quran into creation, implying that instead of being an act of revelation, the Quran is only a reflection. Additionally, Harun's assertion of being divine and taking on the attribute of being a god deviates from the tenets of the religious belief system of Aqidah in Islam. Another factor that makes his teaching liberal is his reliance on human intellect and allowing for a diversity of interpretation of religious ideas. This radical approach aligns more closely with the liberal perspective, which prioritizes reason and contextual understanding over strict adherence to the Kitab, commandments, and religious dogma. Harun's self-deification and his unique concept of God are clear examples of the extreme side of the liberalist movement. This movement represents a significant shift, aligning more the liberalist approach that elevates human reason and context over traditional religious interpretation. This connection with religious liberalism are also questions the foundation of the Quran and promotes a broader discussion about reason and rationality in relation to divine revelation. By emphasizing reason and individual interpretation, Harun's teaching promotes an unorthodox view of divinity that goes against traditional Islamic beliefs. These perspectives opens up previous boundaries and encourages a more critical interpretation of concepts like divine. As previously stated, some people choose to follow deviant teachings due to dissatisfaction with religious law. The appeal of innovative teachings and retreat which can lead to the search for new doctrines. Often, individuals follow these teachings blindly without proper investigation. Additionally, faith rehabilitation centers do not exist in every state in Malaysia, and the lack of cooperation between Muslims, communities, and religious authorities exacerbates the spread of deviant teachings. Therefore, authorities should take action to raise public awareness about the importance of preserving the sanctity of Islam. It is essential for Muslims to be educated about the dangers of deviant teachings to protect their faith and beliefs. This knowledge will be better equip individuals to guard against teachings that contradict Islamic values.